Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and this is a weekly wrap-up. It's actually like a 2-week wrap-up, but it's a weekly wrap-up. And I will go in order. I'm having this really bad habit of not putting them in order, but I finished this, and I really loved this book. I really enjoyed the book. The ending was not great, and it wasn't awful. The book had a lot of twists and unexpected things that the characters did and the way that the story went. But then there was some things that I just, you know how you kind of want it to go a certain way and it doesn't go that way. So not bad, not good, but I finished this. And then I had to quickly read this because my in-person book club, this is the book, and we're meeting this coming Friday. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to read it. And it's like a 400-page book, or almost 400 pages. But the good news is it was a very quick read. I struggled in the beginning. It is a young girl. I say young girl, she's in her 20s. She is going through a divorce, and it's not her choice to be going through this divorce. And her grandmother decides and sort of announces to the family that she's going to drive back to her hometown in Massachusetts, and it's sort of a cross-country drive. And so her mother is like, you can't make that drive alone. Like, you can't do that. And so the granddaughter offers, because of her circumstance, she's like, I'll drive her, I'll go. And so they have this time together where they can reminisce, they can talk, but the personality of the grandmother, she is very strong-willed in her personality. And, it's all by her rules. She gives the information she wants, and she doesn't give the information she doesn't. And so there's these old family stories that are coming up, and she's just very pushy. She's very pushy. Now, she's the grandmother, so it's her granddaughter, and I get that. But in the beginning, it just sort of rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, it's not a likable character. And the girl was sort of, she was sort of wimpy, and then she's going through this divorce. And so it was just not characters that I immediately liked or cared about. As time goes on, and as you're getting the grandmother's story, and then it develops for the granddaughter, it started to become a lot better and became sort of like a little romance in there. And then, of course, at the end, you understand the grandmother's personality, and then it's like, okay, I get it. Very quick read, very light. I am not a contemporary romance person. I don't particularly like those books. And when they're talking about Instagram and she's going through this divorce, she's not happy, but she's trying to post pictures to make it look like she's happy, hoping that her husband's gonna or soon-to-be husband, ex-husband, is gonna see this and think that she's having a good time. I struggle with that. I'm like, I don't like that. So, it would be like a 2 to 3 star for me. Like, so not bad. It's gonna appeal to a lot of other people, but that was that one. And we'll just do this one next because I didn't put them in order and we won't go in order. This is a romance that I do like. And so these are really fast and fun reads for me. The storyline, I have read a lot of Sherry Lynn Kenyon's books, and so I'm familiar with these characters, and there's some supernatural going on. And this particular guy, Ren, he is a loner, and but of course he's big and brooding and quiet and menacing and all these things, and he is drawn to what was her name again? Marguerite. And it's their story. So, they're just fun reads. I enjoyed these. So that was sort of a palate cleanser. I just, this one, I started reading this with my daughter, and we started reading this because Gary Paulson wrote Hatchet, and we read that and we both absolutely loved it. It was a great book. And this is just a really short, and so I was like, oh, this will be interesting. It's, these two boys, they live with their parents, and then they also have two elderly uncles. So they're the dad's older brothers, and they're elderly, but they live on a farm. It's a farm life, and so the book is broken into the seasons, and the winter room is their living room basically. And they call it the winter room because during the winter, that's where the fireplace is, and it's cold, and they can all sleep in there at the same time to conserve and to bring all that warmth in so that they're warm enough. And so that's the winter room. And the uncles tell stories during that time. And the parents, the dad whittles and the mom knits, and that's it. It's very simple. My daughter lost interest pretty quickly, and it was very slow. It was not anything like Hatchet as far as the writing style. And so she lost interest, and I finished it, and it was definitely not at the level of Hatchet, but it was interesting. Like I can appreciate a slow moving book. I can enjoy a slow paced book. I can enjoy a book that subtle nuances and subtle details pack a punch. And so this is sort of like that. It was interesting. It was interesting. I'm not mad that I read it. So that was for middle grade. We have been making slow progress on this. We are chapter 10. My daughter she's like, she's this one of hers for Kate DiCamillo, for all the books that we've loved of hers. This one, my daughter, for some reason, is just, but I think it's more my daughter's age, and she's just sort of like, she's just not loving it. So we're kind of pushing through very, very slowly. I finished this one, which I think I did have that update the last time, and I started the second one. But I mean, like, I just started it, and then I think I had to jump over to She's Up to No Good. So I will keep working on this one. I barely got into it, but of course it picks up right where the other one left off. And so very cool because it's science-y magic. It's magic based in science, and these children, their adventures and all of their things. So I do like that. I really like when it's science-based. That's fun. And then for my CEU books, I actually got into this one. I have not gotten into this one yet. And I love nutrition as a topic and reading about it. These CEU books over the years, it's all very redundant. And so I get through it because I have to, but it's not new information, but it's good refreshers. So I'm getting through that. So this has been what I did in the last 2 weeks. And so got through a lot of what, because we still have a couple of days left in March. And, so I'll keep working on this to get through that because I have to. So I knew I would get to it. I started this one, and then this is for my daughter. So, I feel like pretty productive, pretty good. Also in this time, I finished my audiobook for Audio Miles, The Glass Hotel, and I did a video on that, so I'll link that because I went into more detail about that, but I finished that. And we are baby stepping it progress-wise for The New Husband. I think we're going to try to get a chapter in tonight, or I'm going to try to push for us to get a chapter in tonight. My husband, it got to a chapter that he's like, well, that's kind of boring, and he's sort of lost interest. And I'm like, no, we have to push through at this point. We'll get back to the interesting thing because we still don't know anything. Like, we don't know what happened at his retreat when he went, and he went for a month, and so we haven't even found that out. So I'm like, good things are coming. We just have to get through this boring chapter and we'll get to it. So hopefully. So it's been a good reading couple of weeks, and I've gotten a lot of good reading done. So thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate that. And until next time, I'll be reading.